Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
I'll go into your van, witchy woman.
I'm Neve from Ireland.
And I'm Emily, living in Chicago.
And we have never met in real life.
Fortunately, you don't need to live on the same continent to make a spooky podcast.
So that's exactly what we did. We created Rowan and Pine, our folklore, mythology, and spooky stuff podcast.
You can find us on your favorite platform, and we already have over 35 episodes ready to binge.
Don't forget the spooky shorts.
Right. We also have a bunch of short episodes if that's what you're into.
Come on, get spooky with us and frick yeah folklore.
All right, I think I hacked in. We're on the air? Shh, security's outside. But how's my hair? It's a radio station. Psst, psst. You guys hear about the Beyond the Shadows podcast with Ryan and Scott? You guys into paranormal? What about true crime? How about UFOs and cryptids? We also have mad hauntings. We got security. No, we don't. We're not big enough to need it yet. No, we got security. Hey, what are you guys doing? Get out of here. Listen to the Beyond the Shadows podcast. Beyond the Shadows.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Deklan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast, or use the link in our show notes.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy. How are you doing today, Deklan?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm great. Excited to hear what story you have for us today.
Today, I'm going to be talking about the Black Dahlia.
Oh, that is so cool because I saw something in the news about this recently.
Oh, really?
I hope you tell us something about it. Yeah, that they're potentially... Somebody thinks that they may have solved it, but I don't know the details about it.
I struggle with like older cases like this where it's like, oh, breaking news. And then it's just,
yeah,
my dog's babysitter used to know her and said that this guy did it or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Usually that's the breaking news. It's the type of shit you find in like the magazines at the checkout at the grocery store.
Yeah. What was her name again?
Let's see.
Elizabeth. Can't remember her name. You can cut this
Elizabeth
part out
Short.
if you want. Okay, that's what I thought. Nice. Well, that is exciting. That's super cool because I don't know the details of that very much, and so I'll be looking forward to hearing that from you.
What story do you have for us today?
I have a story about a thing called Operation Sea Spray. And it was done in the 50s. And it's one of those things where you go, of course we did that. It's not the CIA this time, but it's CIA adjacent.
Is this like does it take place in California? I don't want to give away too much. Okay.
Yes, it does.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Well, you'll have to tell me if you've heard of it before because I have not heard of it until recently. And I was like, oh, yeah, I got to go figure that out.
I'm pretty sure I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But,
to go
cocktail?
with it, the cocktail that I brought is called the Sea Spray Kiss. There are several sea spray cocktails out there, but this one I thought looked the best because it is made with 1 ounce of pear vodka, 8 raspberries, ½ ounce of Chambord liqueur, ½ ounce of simple syrup, and then 3 ounces of Prosecco. The steps are to mash your raspberries, simple syrup, and Chambord in a shaker. Add your vodka and ice. Shake well and strain into a cocktail glass, and then top with Prosecco, which all of these things are great. How could this not be a good cocktail? I love pear vodka. Chambord is decent. And Prosecco and I are friends sometimes. We're not super close friends like
place.
Bourbon and I are, but Prosecco has its place. Okay, let's give it a try.
I will say it does look very nice.
It's very pretty. It's bright red. It's good. I like this.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Chambord is a little on there's like a funk aftertaste to it, but overall, I think it's I'd say that's
tasty.
a win. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the wonderful experimentation that the government did on Americans in the 1950s.
Just one of very many.
One of many. This was in the fall of 1950. It was an experiment that took place off the coast of California, like you mentioned. It would remain a secret for more than 2 decades. It was called Operation Sea Spray, and it was conducted by the United States military. Over the course of a week, the experiment was done from the deck of a U.S. Navy minesweeper ship about 2 miles off the coast near San Francisco. But why and what were they experimenting with? The context for this experiment lays deep in the Cold War era. The United States came out of World War II concerned with a new kind of threat. They were not just concerned about bombs and tanks, but they were also concerned about biological agents and invisible clouds of disease, which nobody wants. Military planners worried that future wars might use pathogens as weapons. Essentially, they were worried that our enemies would release diseases that could spread through populations like fire through dry brush. So in response, a group of programs across the Army and Navy began testing biological agents and dispersal methods. The goal was to understand how a city could be attacked or defend against such weapons, which in and of itself is a good thing. I mean, I want them
very helpful
to figure that shit out and know what to do about it. The basic idea was that if the military could simulate a biological attack, it might understand how a real one could unfold and potentially how to deal with it. One of the first questions was simple. How far would a pathogen travel if released offshore? Would weather and temperature changes carry it deep inland? And if so, how far? And who would be affected? San Francisco was a prime place to test the theories and attempt to answer many of the questions. The Bay Area is well populated today, and it was in 1950 as well. Plus, the weather of that region provided many factors to test, from coastal fog, wind, and vast temperature fluctuations. All those things they were looking at. What is the climate of the San Francisco Bay Area gonna do with biological weapons? Again, I'm not saying it's not an important question to ask. It just,
the way you go about it is
they
very
might
specific.
they might have gone about it a little bit different. Also, the commonly present fog would give them a nice cover for the testing. So if people don't know about the Bay Area and San Francisco, it's really foggy there a lot of the year, which makes flying into and out of the San Francisco airport a bit of a nightmare. because of the fog, there's a lot of temperature fluctuations. It's often very windy. And, the military was like, cool, you got a testing ground. Let's go. For the test, military scientists designed an operation that at first glance looked simple: release harmless bacteria into the air near the San Francisco Bay Area. During the week of testing, the crew released aerosols of 2 bacteria into the air from the deck of the naval ship anchored offshore. Then they observed how the microbes dispersed through a major urban environment. In essence, a fog of bacteria, invisible and undetected by the public, settled over the city and its surroundings. The planners claimed that the goal was not to make people sick, but to measure the vulnerability of a large American city to a biological attack. Basically, they took the city of San Francisco and surrounding towns and turned it into a live test range without, of course, they did not tell anyone.
So we want to test how prepared we are for chemical warfare by doing chemical warfare on ourselves, basically.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah. And I'm going to say the names of the bacteria, but if I get it wrong, I apologize. I apologize to the bacteria whose names I ruined. The bacteria they used were Serratia, marcescens, and Bacillus globigii. They were believed to be harmless. Notice I said believed
to be. Yeah.
To be. It's 1950. Everything that didn't immediately kill you, they were like,
it's harmless.
Fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Just put plastic
Serratia,
bags in their bloodstream. Let's see if that works.
Yeah. Serratia marcescens was chosen because it produces a unique red color, which would make it easier to track. Bacillus globigii was used in the experiment because it behaves similarly to more dangerous biological agents such as anthrax, but it was assumed not to harm people. The testers deployed equipment at 43 monitoring stations scattered throughout the San Francisco and nearby communities to collect samples and track how these bacteria traveled. Berkeley, Oakland, Daly City, Colma, and Sausalito were among the locations where colonies of the released microbes were later detected. By the end of the experiment, the Army reported that almost every one of the city's 800,000 residents would have inhaled at least 5,000 bacterial particles as the simulated cloud drifted across the Bay Area. From a military perspective, the operation achieved its immediate aim. It demonstrated that a dense urban area could be saturated with a biological cloud released from offshore. You mean to tell me that they thought it wouldn't go anywhere? Bullshit.
They were testing to see how far it went. Like, what do you...
Yes.
That's
they
the
knew
test,
it would
the base
travel.
of the
Oh,
experiment.
it traveled. Yay, us.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That in turn confirmed to planners that coastal cities were not immune to biological assault. Okay, no one ever assumed it would be immune, whatever. But of course, there was a problem, otherwise we wouldn't be talking about it. Soon after the experiment concluded, unusual medical cases began to arise in the very city that had been used as the testing ground. Shocker! People got sick? Couple of weeks after the Navy had finished its dispersal, 11 residents checked into Stanford Hospital with exceptionally rare and serious urinary tract infections. Normally, urinary tract infections were common, but the strain involved in these cases was not. This particular microbe, when examined, showed a red color, which normally bacteria don't, but they use that one because it specifically turned red. Yes. It was Serratia marcescens, or how it was the Serratia one. It is typically not seen in clinical settings. The physicians documented it and later published descriptions of the cases. Of these 11 patients, 10 recovered, but one man, Edward Nevin, did not. Edward had recently undergone prostate surgery, and as his condition worsened, the infection spread. Weeks later, he died when the bacterium reached his heart, leading to complications that medical staff described as severe and unusual. In addition to these cases, doctors in the city reported an increase in pneumonia diagnoses in the weeks after the test. While physicians noted this rise, no causal link was formally established between the experiment and the illnesses. For more than 2 decades after the operation, the public had no idea that their city had been part of a military experiment. These tests remained classified, and no official notification was given to public health authorities at the time.
How do you spell the red bacteria? I'm just curious. I want to know where it comes from.
Yeah, SERRA. Where is it? TIA. MR. That's one word, and the second word is MARCESCENS.
Okay.
Marquescens. I don't know. Oh, where was I? For more than 2 decades, the operation had remained classified and no official notification was given to the public authorities at the time. It was in 1977, during a series of public hearings by the U.S. Senate Subcommittee on Health and Scientific Research, that the Army disclosed the existence of Operation Sea Spray and other biological tests conducted across the country. During those hearings, officials acknowledged the tests but maintained that any connection to the subsequent illnesses, including pneumonia or urinary infections, is just purely coincidental. Even though everybody there that had the urinary tract infection had Serratia in the sample. But no, purely coincidental. They pointed out.
I didn't know. I've seen this. I have this in my house. It's the pink mold.
Is it the pink shower stuff?
Yes, it's the pink stuff. Yeah.
Nah.
The pink.
I think there's more than one
showers,
pink.
Bathtub grouts, sinks, and toilet bowls. Is a biofilm of Serratia marcinis, or whatever the fuck you say.
Oh, well, that's
I didn't know that.
Gross.
Interesting.
I did not know that either. I have seen pink in showers before.
Yeah, and it fucking drives me nuts.
And did not end up with a urinary tract infection. So, yay.
Yeah. Well, this is saying that it's most commonly spread in clinical settings through catheters. So that's probably where the
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got bacteria floating around in the air, and they're giving people catheters at hospitals. Where's it going to go? Okay.
I don't like catheters.
Didn't mean to gross you out. Hey, you look that up. That was not part of my information.
I
That's
was just
on
more
you.
interested in the fact that I've seen it before.
It was red.
Yeah.
The long delay before public disclosure sparked outrage among some scientists, ethicists, and legal advocates. Critics argued that Operation Sea Spray represented one of the most significant human experiments in American history, one in which hundreds of thousands of unwitting civilians were exposed to biological agents without informed consent or medical oversight. Going back to the victims, remember Edward Nevin? He was our gentleman who passed away.
Mm-hmm.
In 1981, his family took legal action and filed a lawsuit against the U.S. government. They alleged negligence and claimed that the military was responsible for Edward Nevin's death. The case worked its way through the courts, and the family won sympathy and public opinion. However, the courts ruled the government could not be held liable because there was no definitive scientific proof that his death was caused by the bacteria used in the test. Of course, this is just one example of how civilians, without their consent or knowledge, were caught up in experiments that tested the boundaries of science, ethics, and, public trust. How about that? And that is Operation Sea Spray.
Very interesting. I have heard of this. This is not the only time they've done this specifically in California too.
Right.
Yeah. It's fucking ridiculous. Makes you think like, are they still running those types of experiments?
100%. 100% they are.
And I guarantee they're using stuff that's worse than the pink slime in kitchens.
In your bathroom, yeah.
Yeah.
Your shower mold is the least of your worries. All right, tell us about the Black Dahlia.
Okay. So, picture this. Los Angeles, 1947. Sunlight sells dreams here. Glints off chrome bumpers and studio gates. It paints palm trees gold. Promises that beauty is currency and that somewhere behind the right door, fame is waiting. But the city has another talent. It knows where to bury things. In vacant lots, in shallow graves, in headlines that scream for a week and then fade. And on the morning of January 15th, the illusion of paradise tears open on a patch of weedy ground in Learmert? Sure, Learmert Park. A mother walking with her daughter notices that what she thinks is a broken mannequin that has been cut in half. And when she looks closer, she realizes mannequins don't have human skin.
It's never a mannequin.
Nope. Even if it is a mannequin, I'm not approaching it. I don't want to know.
No. No.
The body belonged to Elizabeth Short. She's 22 years old, an aspiring actress, kind of a drifter, and by nightfall, the newspapers will give her a new name, the Black Dahlia. Before she became a symbol, before she became a mystery, Elizabeth was a girl from Massachusetts. Born in 1924 in Hyde Park, a neighborhood of Boston, she was the third of 5 daughters. Her father built a miniature golf courses during the boom in the 1920s, and he made good money from it. Which, what a cool fucking job, designing miniature golf courses. That sounds fucking awesome.
It does sound awesome.
But sadly, when the Great Depression hit, everything collapsed, and one day he vanished. His car was found abandoned near a bridge, and many assumed he had committed suicide. Although many years later, they would learn that he was alive in California, having simply walked away from his family.
Oops.
Which is,
whoopsie.
Back then, you could just
you did that.
Like,
people did that,
and then go away.
And I don't even know if they really thought they were faking their death, or they were just like,
I'm done
with
car here and walk like Forrest Gump.
Yep. I'm done. Yeah. I'm out.
For Elizabeth, the damage had already settled in before she learned he was alive. But poverty followed. Instability followed. Her mother worked long hours, and they moved fairly frequently. Elizabeth grew up with asthma, bouts of illness, and a hunger for somewhere better than where her mom had taken her. As a teenager, she discovered Hollywood magazines. Starlets smiling on glossy paper, premieres, nightclubs, fame that seemed like only one lucky meeting away. God damn. I'm going to redo that. Starlets smiling in glossy paper, premieres, nightclubs, and fame that seemed only one lucky encounter away. She began cultivating the look, dark hair, pale skin, dramatic clothes, kind of just to bring attention to herself.
She definitely had a unique look.
Yes. Like, I kind of see her as like a black-haired, who's that lady? Marilyn Monroe?
Yeah, I could see that comparison for sure.
Like, pretty, but kind of like pinup girl, I guess. Like,
yes.
what's the look?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree. Very pinup looky.
So after she moved out, she bounced around from state to state, from Florida to Massachusetts, and then eventually finding her way to California. She wrote letters to her father, who had resurfaced on the West Coast. And for a time, she even stayed with him. But
Wow.
arguments and just, they didn't get along. That's all I'll say.
Well,
So she ended up leaving.
Can't
Los Angeles
imagine.
was full of boarding houses and men who promised opportunity. Some of them meant it, but most of them didn't. By the mid 1940s, Elizabeth was floating between couches, hotels, and the spare rooms of acquaintances. She worked as a waitress, and she went on dates, and she told people she had connections in the film industry, that she might be cast soon, and that something big was coming.
oh,
Sometimes stories change, though. But in a city built on reinvention, exaggeration could pass for ambition. Friends remembered her as flirtatious, glamorous, secretive. She drank, but not specifically heavily. She could be warm one minute and distant the next, according to her friends. In the summer of 1946, Elizabeth had a brief relationship with an Army Air Force officer named Matt Gordon. He died in a plane crash, sadly, before they could really build a future together.
oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, she told people that they were engaged, but it's kind of up in the air on that, if she was lying or not.
Gotcha.
But they were together. That's what's important. By January of 1947, she was back in Los Angeles after a trip to San Diego. She had been staying at the Baltimore Hotel, making phone calls in the lobby, waiting for someone to meet her. Witnesses later remembered seeing her there on January 9th. After that, it's kind of up in the air where she was. For 6 days, Elizabeth Short disappeared into the city and then reappeared in pieces.
Ooh.
Crime scene was horrifying. Her body had been severed cleanly at the waist, drained of blood, posed with arms above her head, like she was laying down on a beach.
Ugh.
Her mouth was slashed from the corners towards her ears in a Glasgow smile.
Yes, the Glasgow smile.
Yes, I forget what episode that was, but go back and listen to that one.
I'd have to
And
look
there are
that up.
marks that
was a long time
suggested
ago.
she had been bound. But there was surprisingly little blood at the site because her blood was drained.
Oof.
Yeah. So police flood the lot and detectives canvassed houses. Photographers captured images that would soon shock the nation. Los Angeles had seen murders before, but this was a lot different. This wasn't people getting... this is a tortured person
This
that had
is-
been cut in half.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So reporters started digging into who she was, and the nickname Black Dahlia, which they gave her, likely grows from a popular film at the time, The Blue Dahlia, mixed with Elizabeth's dark clothing and rumored fondness of sheer black outfits and her black hair.
Oh, I was wondering how that nickname came about.
Yeah, which I don't know what The Blue Dahlia is about, but
Me
for
neither.
some reason they give her that nickname.
Made that comparison.
The killer, whoever it is, seemed to have enjoyed the spectacle. On January 24th, a package arrives at the office of the Los Angeles Examiner. Inside are Elizabeth's birth certificate, business cards, photograph, and an address book. Everything had been cleaned with gasoline to remove fingerprints.
Oh.
There's also a
Weird.
note assembled from newspaper clippings promising more to come. And it is signed The Black Dahlia Avenger.
Avenger?
Yeah. I don't think he knows what that word
Does
means.
That's what I was just going to say. Does he not know what Avenger means? Huh.
So tips
Weird.
begin to pour in, thousands of them. Men confess, women accuse ex-lovers, psychotic people call. All the, like, when there's a huge case like this, people
Typical stuff. Yeah.
people just go crazy over it, whether it's prank calls or
Right.
whatever the fuck. But at one point,
Right.
more than 750 investigators were assigned to chase these leads.
Holy moly. That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Uh,
Where'd all
so
those
it-
investigators come from?
That's a good question. I don't know. Probably
'Cause-
FBI,
Oh, yeah.
police. I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah.
750s. Yeah.
I was thinking there's no way there's 750 investigators in the LAPD.
Well, when there's like murder cases like this, I think the FBI
Yeah, big
steps
one
in
like
and-
that. That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. They would involve other agencies, probably. I would assume. I would hope.
So one detail specifically fascinates the investigators. The body was posed almost ritualistically. The draining of blood, the washing, the placement, someone wanted her to be found like this.
For sure. I mean, they put her in a public place.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Elizabeth's mother learns of her daughter's death from reporters who tricked her. They call pretending Elizabeth won a beauty contest and extracted personal details before revealing the truth.
Oh my
Which is
fucking
the most
God.
one of the most evil parts of this fucking story. Like,
Okay. They need to go
'Cause back
find out
then-
who did that and public fillet them.
I mean,
That-
like back then they didn't have cell phones. You couldn't just text your daughter. And
No.
be like, hey, I heard
There
you
wasn't the
won," but, like,
internet.
yeah. So it makes sense that someone would contact you. It just
That is
when I read that, it fucking made me mad.
awful. That is awful.
Yeah. So as the weeks passed, more tips and more letters arrive, all that, and police attempted to trace them, but forensic science was limited. Fingerprinting was inconsistent, and DNA technology was decades away. So whether this was the actual killer taunting them or just some crazy guy who wanted to fuck with the news, I don't know.
No way to know.
In February, a handbag and shoe believed to belong to Elizabeth were discovered in an alley miles away from the body, but they couldn't really. There's no way
Yeah.
to match it to her.
No.
Investigators began compiling suspect lists: doctors with surgical training, men with histories of violence, lovers who might have felt rejected. The list just seemed to fucking go on, and they had no real clues to go off of. So, among the most discussed suspects decades later was George Hodel, a physician whose own son would accuse him after his death.
I have heard.
Hodel
of this
lived in
guy.
a striking house. He entertained artists and allegedly had connections that might have shielded him through like the police and legal system. Some former detectives believed they had enough circumstantial evidence to consider him their man, but not enough to actually convict him on anything. But there was a bunch of people that were accused, and if they had enough evidence to arrest them, they would have. So it's just
Right.
no one really knows what happened to Elizabeth Short.
Yikes. That is such a
It's,
bummer of a case. And it's frustrating that
and everyone knows the name. When you hear Black Dahlia,
Yes.
you know what it is.
everybody
Like,
knows.
It's
Yep.
the fact that it happened almost 70 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like
That's wild.
it's crazy that everyone still knows who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
Super sad. Super weird.
Do you have a chaser for us today?
Kind of.
Kind of.
My chaser is the fact that the Jeffrey Epstein files are coming out now.
Oh,
And if you
yeah.
haven't been paying attention, you should. because it's only going to get crazier from here. They just had I don't know, congressman, represent, I don't know any of the governmental terms, but there's people, Thomas Massey, I think his name, and Rowan, I believe they're congressmen, if I'm not mistaken, but they're Democrat and Republican, so it's a bipartisan thing that they're doing right now, and they were the ones who forced all the redactions. So like everyone saw the Epstein files as like just a bunch of blanks or blank bars, and they're going in and forcing the DOJ to remove those,
unredact them.
And the other day, Thomas Massey went out, or maybe it was Rowan, but anyways, one of them came out and gave the exact names of the co-conspirators that they were redacting, which is against the law that they passed. They're only supposed to redact the victims, but they came out and named these people by name who were conspirators. And so I think it's really cool that everyone knows kind of about the Epstein files, but there's a lot of shit that's coming out that's a lot darker than I think a lot of people thought. And so I think it's cool that we finally have some form of transparency in the government about this, but it's a lot of really bad stuff. So I think it was Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, that said, if we redact all the information, it could topple the government. And I think it should. If there's fucking pedophiles running our government, they need to be convicted. It shouldn't be about protecting these people or protect it. We need to clear.
Yeah, the victims should be protected, not the perpetrators.
But also, another fuck up is they didn't redact a lot of victim names when they should have. They're redacting politicians' names instead.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of really cool. They're not cool. It's not cool that this happened, but it's
not cool.
It's cool that we're finally getting to the bottom of it, and people are kind
some answers.
Yes.
But okay, here's the thing. They might expose a bunch of names, but I don't really believe that we will ever know what really freaking happened.
I think you're right.
Unless he wrote it all down, or he had a handler in whatever government agency he was working for, ours or foreign or whatever.
Was a handler.
Well, I'm just saying, like, the only way we will ever really know or even remotely get an idea of what that whole thing was about and what was going on is if somebody who is alive comes forward and says, I know all of the information and here's what happens, and it corresponds with the information that's out. And I don't think anybody will ever do that.
No, they have Ghislaine, but she just came out recently and was like, if Donald Trump exonerates me, I will prove that he is innocent. And it's like, that's not how that works. You can't just fucking buy your freedom like that.
Yeah.
So whatever she says is fucking bullshit. It's just
And
you're right.
And
We're
even
never
if
gonna know.
I don't think. I mean, she was a factor in it, but do you think she really knew what the fuck was going on? I doubt it.
I think she knew about a majority of the crimes. I don't think she knew about all the blackmail that was being involved, but from what it sounds like, she
or
was,
who, or
it sounds like she was the one who kind of arranged all the child sex trafficking, but I don't think she knew about the blackmail and all that.
Right. And she might not have known all the details of why it was happening. I don't necessarily need to know
the details. You could figure out why. Like, if
I want to know exactly why.
What was theories.
What was well, that's the thing, is they're just theories. Everybody's got a theory as to what. I want to know exactly why and who were involved and why those people were involved.
Well,
and we won't know that.
Way off track, but like ancient people, they knew the sun came up and down, but they didn't know why. They had theories that it was about gods, and then you learn more stuff and you can put the pieces together to figure out that the sun goes down because the earth rotates. So that's,
Right.
I think you have to compile all the evidence and then figure it out yourself. Like,
unless you're a flat earther.
yeah, I saw a meme and it was like, all your conspiracy theorist friends. So there's a meme of Squidward looking out of his house at SpongeBob and Patrick running around, and it's like they compared SpongeBob and Patrick to normal conspiracy theorists, and then the flat earthers sitting inside, like looking at all the conspiracy theorists have their theories be proven right. Yeah,
I'm just saying that I need to see documents that say we did XYZ for ABC and this is what we learned.
But the thing is, Jeffrey Epstein probably didn't have a planning book that said, like, today we're going to incriminate this person so that we can get him to do this. It's probably more of, you got to connect the dots, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the job of someone that's not me. That's the job of like the FBI
same.
or
not me.
Whoever the fuck. Like,
not me.
You need to bring this information to us, but I don't know
shit.
Political rant, so you should tell us your chaser.
Okay. My chaser is a watch recommendation from Netflix, and it is the movie Relay. IMDb explains their synopsis of the movie is a broker of lucrative payoffs between corrupt corporations, and the individuals who threaten them breaks his own rules when a new client seeks his protection to stay alive. So essentially, this guy is trying to help people that are like whistleblowers to get out from underneath the companies that they are whistleblowing against by helping them make like a protection order of like, okay, we won't release your information, but you have to pay us this much money to lose the information. And it's a really good, I don't want to say it's a spy show because it's not a spy show.
Anyone like recognizable that's in it?
I think so, but I don't know. I have to go look.
What's it called again?
The main guy looks familiar. The movie's name is Relay. It's got some good twists and turns in it and made me like at the end I was like, ha, this is it. And your dad was like, why did this happen? Oh, it's got Sam Worthington in it. And he was the guy from Avatar. So he is recognizable and he is a bad guy.
Okay. I'll have to check
it out. It's
Sounds
a really good movie. It's a good movie. I recommend it. So
sweet. Well, I think that just about wraps up today's episode.
It does.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Love you, Mom.
Love you too, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a Boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future Boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.